Alright, welcome to Nerdly Kingdom. We're going to talk about 3 movies because we just all happen to go to the movies for once and like forever.
And none of us watched the same movie.
Money is hard to come by nowadays.
Especially with Movie Pass being
What was
sucked.
the other podcast?
Movie Pass.
Halloween.
Movie Pass
As in
went
the
under,
holiday.
so we actually have to pay for our
Started
movies, so it's harder to
Like
see movies.
dorks.
What?
We're broke.
Yeah.
So it's Movie Pass.
No!
Oh! Okay, what'd you see, William?
I saw First Man.
I don't know what that's about.
It's about Neil Armstrong.
Is that the stretchy guy?
Why did I expect
No.
Neil Patrick Harris?
That's
And I was
Mr.
like,
Fantastic.
Not that guy!
Stretch Armstrong.
The wrong stretchy
Yeah,
guy.
this is the movie about when Stretch Armstrong went to the moon.
yeah,
He
you
just-
you
he
have
just-
him like this and
He
you
just
shoot
stayed
him
on the
up in the
ground
air.
and just like stretched himself up.
It's actually about Neil Armstrong. He was the first man to ever do finger guns, and he was stoned
He was the first man to ever stretch his arms out.
to the moon.
Neil Armstrong invented stretching.
What is that?
Oh, this feels so good.
Anyway,
Yeah, I saw
I'm not
First
that
Man.
sore.
I really liked
did
it.
they fake the moon landing?
I was gonna make that joke.
In the movie?
And-
Probably.
Yeah, because I don't know if you read it in Discord,
did,
but
yeah.
I was like, man, that was a really good movie. It's really ambitious of them to end it on someone screaming and cut off screen when they're on the moon.
I couldn't tell if that would actually happen in the movie or not.
Nah, it didn't happen.
That would be a great way to end it, just to screw with
It's
people.
funny, the actual moon landing part is only like, I want to say 6-7 minutes of the whole
Yeah, I
movie.
didn't
That's
Here,
because
dude.
it's called First Man, not First Moon.
Yeah, it was very short. But one thing I liked about how they did it was the whole movie is shot to look like it was a movie made in the 60s. So all the footage is kind of grainy, and it looks kind of like it was filmed on a Super 8 camera. And then when they get to the moon, it cuts to like crisp, clear HD image. And it's really
Proof
cool.
that
Why?
the moon landing
Because it's a
was
different world.
fake.
You gotta get that. They wanted to get that
Oh,
60s aesthetic, and then when you get to the moon,
I heard that
Fun fact.
they actually used like the most advanced camera stuff they had back then, and they used to have like really, really high quality footage of the moon landing and stuff, and they accidentally lost it because our government's stupid.
The way they get that grainy
And
effect
so like
is
that's
they
why
put oatmeal
that's
in
why the moon
camera.
landing, even like Doctor Who, it's that weird grainy TV version because they only have the versions that people home recorded because they lost the real footage.
But
Because
one thing I
or
like
because
about,
they staged
the
the whole
audio.
thing.
one thing I like about the
They
movie
staged
is
Doctor
that
Who.
it handles a lot of the tension very well, because the movie tonally is very much like a war movie. Like a big part of the
We
movie.
went to war with the moon.
No, a big part of the movie is kind of talking about how dangerous space exploration and building all the tech was at the time, and how much of their lives it devoured. Like it
Yeah.
goes into a big part is how the big thing motivating Neil Armstrong in the movie is the death of his daughter as an infant. And so he goes through the whole movie carrying that, and there's like the emotional moments of the movie is like
Everyone
how-
make a joke.
bad the relationship between him and his wife is because of that, and how much working at NASA's consumed his life and whatnot. And so you get all this stuff about how being an astronaut, how that interferes with your private life, and how it affects your relationships with people, and how it affects you as a person.
Well, that's like they have a movie about Buzz Aldrin, don't they? Like a documentary because his life got so messed up after he got back.
Yeah. It's funny, Buzz Aldrin in this movie is such a dickhead. And it's so funny because there's this one scene where he talks about not surviving in a shuttle, and he's just like, I'm just saying what everyone's thinking, and Neil Armstrong's like, well, don't. Like,
Was the third guy in the movie? Did they give him
Yeah.
anything at all?
Mhm.
Okay. that's
yeah,
cool.
they're
I can't remember
he's
his name,
there.
but the guy that stayed in the shuttle while they
He's
were
played by
on the
someone
moon.
really popular
That
too, but I
would
can't remember who it was.
suck.
Yeah, he got he got recognition, obviously.
Yeah,
but he
he's
didn't really
there.
get famous.
I would run out and lick the moon after they got back in, just so I could be
But it's
like,
funny because
That's
it
not how
goes,
that works.
I'd
They
be
were
like,
on the
"Suck
lander.
it,
He was in the
NASA."
shuttle.
it
He
goes
never
through
got down.
from
I'd be like,
1961
"Suck it,
to
NASA."
69. So it goes through that whole development phase and goes through all the astronauts who died with all the stuff they were doing, and like it feels very much like a war movie because you really feel the weight that all the families had on their shoulders, not knowing whether or not their husbands would survive this
Mhm.
or not. And there's a really good scene where Neil Armstrong's wife makes him sit down and talk to his two sons about the possibility about him not coming back. And Neil Armstrong's so disattached from reality at that point that he doesn't know how to talk to his children.
Oh, Jesus.
And it's so formal and like
I might die.
like a press conference, the way he talks to him, and it's so strange.
Okay, so I know that usually it's used in a negative thing, but First Man's definitely going to be Oscar bait. It's definitely
I
gonna
don't
be
think
there
it's
for the
Oscar
Oscars.
bait, but it's definitely going to get nominated. Yeah.
But it's like, so I don't know how I wanted to word this because I had a question in there, but I don't remember what it was. But it was like, because, for example, like The Post was definite Oscar bait, but there wasn't much of a movie there. And so this one is more of a actual, like, really good story.
And the one thing I've told people that before they see the movie, they really need to not go and see it as a moon landing movie, because it's very much just a Neil Armstrong movie. The whole movie is kind of...
It could have been called Neil, but it just doesn't have as much of a...
Yeah, it's basically kind of what the moon landing meant to him personally and how it affected him as a human being. And so I wouldn't say it's Oscar bait, but it's definitely, I feel like it's definitely going to get nominated.
Its name's going to be up there in the nominations, though.
Yeah. I feel like the most blatant Oscar bait movie this year is A Star is Born. That's the...
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be the...
That's going to be...
But it's definitely going to be
the one
there.
that Brad already hates. It's the Lady Gaga, Bradley Cooper music.
When me and Alicia went
that
to the
I'm
movies,
definitely going to go watch, but...
I've said this to Billy Rocket Raccoon.
Okay, that's what I thought, but then I was like, that can't be right.
I've seen this I've said this a million times, but I hate that movie because me and Alicia went to the movies, and there were 5 movie trailers for that movie. 3 of them were for that movie. 3 of them were for A Star is Born. What? The fuck? They're 3 separate, different trailers. Anyways.
Were they the same trailers or were they different
They're all
trailers?
different.
That's weird.
You got the first one, the second one, and the red one.
But there was something else I wanted to...
And guess what the beforehand thing was about? Like the pre-movie.
A Star is Born.
Oh,
And it's a remake of an older movie.
It's a remake of a remake of a remake. They make one like every 20 years, it seems like.
It's like...
Because another star was born.
Yeah. I guess.
I mean...
that's why there's so many stars.
He's not wrong. There was something else I wanted to say about First Man. It's a very beautiful movie. It's shot very, very well. The moon scenes are so pretty. And there's that big controversy about them not showing the flag being planted on the moon.
It's because they're un-American.
There's nothing prettier than a giant gray rock.
But yeah, that's a
because
huge
you know
deal.
Hollywood hates America.
It's so funny because people are still talking about that, how they're upset that they didn't have a scene about them planting the flag on the moon. Yet they show the flag on the moon, and the movie itself is littered with flag imagery. So one thing I really liked about this movie that most other astronaut movies do is that you get in most movies you get the tension of being in space, and it cuts back and forth from the control room to them.
The shuttle.
In this movie, as soon as they get into the shuttle, it stays with them the whole time.
Really?
And all the conversations back and forth between them and the control is from their perspective. And so you're in space with them the entire time, and it's really cool. And it's so weird because they do the whole the eagle has landed and this is one small step for man, and I'd forgotten about it. And I think Ryan Gosling does such a good job as Neil Armstrong, and you kind of forget that this was a really important moment in human history. And then in most other movies, again, they make the big montage scene showing people with flags waving and, yeah, we landed on the moon, and all the political stuff surrounding it. They do that in this movie, but it's very, I want to say, not watered down, but not really focused on.
Backseat to the...
Yeah, because they show the John F. Kennedy speech after they landed on the moon, but they show it from the 3 astronauts' perspective because they're back home and they're in the quarantine containment, and it shows them watching it on TV. So it stays true to the whole point that this is a movie from their perspective, not as a whole.
Was there a significant part of that movie in the weird quarantine thing while they were They had to live with each other, basically, on Earth. No. That was the part that fascinated me more than anything else.
Was
But
having to be
it's-
quarantined.
Yeah, I mean, which is what they were on the shuttle, basically. Anyways,
Yeah.
But still.
Well, but imagine like the idea of finally being back home
And
and,
then you can't do
you
anything.
can't do
Yeah.
anything.
And that quarantine thing was really small, way smaller than the shuttle was.
Yeah.
So it's at the Space and Rocket Center. So.
But that's the cool thing too, is when it shows them the shots of them being in the shuttle, it never shows the shuttle launching or any shots of space from the outside. It's always on the inside, so everything feels super claustrophobic.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a scene where they go to because there's a big event where Neil and this other astronaut made it into space, but the shuttle they were in ended up in a tailspin and just spun and spun and spun. And it has that scene in the movie, but it shows that scene completely from inside the shuttle. And it made me sick because it's pretty bad. Like anytime they're in space, it always shows it from like the cockpit or the shuttle perspective, so that it gives you a sense of what they're seeing instead of what we usually see, pretty much. And they do a good job about the tension too, because you know they're gonna land on the moon. But the whole time they were in the landing process, I was like, oh shit, are they going to do it? And obviously they do it.
What if they didn't? It'd be like the best movie ever. Like,
It's funny. They handle the tension stuff that, like, it's great. I really liked it. And, you guys can talk about your movies now because I'm done.
I feel like I would not enjoy that movie.
Speaking of movies you would
just me.
enjoy, Bad Times at the El Royale.
I feel like I could enjoy that movie.
I'm fairly certain it's my new favorite movie of all time.
I'm gonna be going
Besides
to see
Christopher
that.
I don't even know
like
how to.
tomorrow.
I don't know how to explain that movie. It's got a
Jeff Bridges.
It's got a Hateful Eight kind of feel to it. Like bunch of strangers show up to the same place at the same time. Each has their own thing going on, and you don't know actually anything about anyone. And it's really interesting because it's that everyone has a secret kind of movie.
It's got the 4 S's in it: strangers, secrets, something, and
Snakes.
murder.
Stranger Secrets, Snakes, and Spaghetti.
Lots of spaghetti.
Those are the 4 S's.
But it's
Murder.
These aren't noodles, these are snakes.
It's like everyone has a secret thing, and within the first, I don't know, 20 minutes, maybe not even that, you find out everyone's secret. Like, everyone's secret. And so, like, you know exactly what's going on until you realize that you have no idea what's going on. Everything you thought you knew, no, you're wrong and an idiot, but it's fine.
It sounds like the type of movies you
Because,
like.
like, you know, you find out there's that, because they show it in the trailers, that there's, like, each room has, like, that one-way mirror thing, and so, like, you can see through into the rooms. You see someone walk down that within, like, the first 20 minutes of the movie, and he's already broke the character he was, and so you're like, oh, this guy's actually a completely different person from what he was, and you see everyone's secret, and you think you know what's going on, but there's just, like, layers to everyone's thing, and so you don't know. And it all comes together when it's all just, like, this awful mixture of everyone's crap coming together at the same time, and Chris Hemsworth is just the craziest motherfucker in that movie. Like, he deserves an award for that acting. Maybe not, but still, it was really good. Jeff Bridges, though, I don't want to ruin this movie. I want to ruin this movie, but I don't want to ruin this movie for anyone. That's how good it was. Jeff Bridges made me cry in that movie.
Really?
It was so sad, because you're like, oh no, he's this horrible person, and then it turns out, like, he's got all this crap, and he starts freaking out, and they start crying, and I started crying, and Alicia started crying. It was great.
This whole ordeal.
It was a whole ordeal. What really gets me is, like, movies like that, the hardest thing to do is the ending. Because, like when you get to the point where shit's going down and the building's burning and half the cast is dead, like, how are you going to end it? You're just going to, like, oh, everyone dies, it's the worst movie ever, Hateful Eight, you know. Oh, only one person alive, she's such a badass. Ooh, kind of like the weird ending that Aliens vs. Predator was. But then when the movie actually did end, I was like, that was it. It's perfect. They did it. Congratulations, guys. That was how you should have done it. I had no idea how you needed to do it, but that was it. It was just so good. Everything about that movie. I love that movie. I saw it again the next day. Like, that's how much I love that movie. I've seen it twice.
That's awesome.
Oh, yes,
Have
I
you-
did. Never mind.
I was like,
Playlist.
I was about to say, yeah.
You
I
it was
saw
like
Mad
8 times.
Max.
I know.
I saw Mad Max Fury Road 5 times and fell asleep
I'm
all
sorry.
5 times.
Oh, never mind.
But
I
that
saw-
was an awful week. Anyways, I worked
Yeah,
so
because
much
you went and
that
saw
week.
Mad Max 5 times.
Fury Road's amazing.
I haven't
Fury Road is
I haven't
great.
seen any of
It's
it.
funny because
The
in
game
those
is
5
good.
times,
Ignore the Mel Gibson stuff. Mel Gibson
Dad
sucks.
loves those movies, but
watch the
I
new
like the
one.
old Mad Max movies.
no, the game is really good. That's why I'm in arcade mode.
I
now.
love the
That's
Mad Max game.
Yeah.
The Mad Max game
I
is
have issues
great.
with the game
But
a
no,
little
I
bit.
saw it 5 times that week,
The end of the game is stupid.
and
I-
in all 5 times, I saw the whole movie.
What? Oh,
You fell
yeah,
asleep at different points?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Speaking of falling asleep during movies, let's talk about my Hobbit Chronicles
Wait, let her
Oh
finish
my
her
God.
stuff.
Say-
and falling asleep in
How-
every
how about
Hobbit
you
movie.
Shut up and let
I just
her
want to say,
talk.
with Bad Times, it's just such a good movie, and
Every time.
we've talked about this before. It's really difficult for us to watch a movie and not like, oh, that's how it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And this movie just, some of it's kind of out of nowhere. There's no way I should have known. Actually, I take that back. No, in hindsight, yeah, I probably could have figured it out. But like, there was that point, like, you know, that the thing I posted on Instagram where he does that jaw drop thing. That actually happened. There was that one point where like everything was going down. Like, what possibly could change? And just within like a couple of seconds, I'm just like, everything is different now. That movie was so good. Every single person in that movie was a fantastic actor, including the 50 Shades of Grey girl.
She's a good actor outside of 50 Shades of Grey.
There's a lot of that with like 50 Shades of Grey and Twilight. When they're in
Yeah.
other stuff, like, oh, they're pretty good.
It's like, because I was talking about
Robert
that the other
Pattinson's
day.
a great actor.
I love
Well,
people
it's
give.
like-
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, it's like the other day I was talking about Kristen Stewart and someone was like, you like Kristen Stewart? And I was like, yeah, it's like she's awesome. She's amazing. She's goals. It's like, yeah, her character was Stellan Bland in Twilight. And I hate the fact for a long time I hated her because of
Yeah.
Twilight. But she's an amazing
Well, here's-
person.
the thing is,
Played
like-
that character great because the
Here's the
character
thing.
literally
If
is
you
just a
if you
blank
want to
person.
see Kristen Stewart play an emotionless, sort of bland character well, watch Adventureland.
And if you want to see
It's like
Kristen
the exact same
Stewart,
kind of character, but with depth. You know,
and if you
so
want
he
to
can
see
act.
Kristen
more-
Stewart be
not quite the same, but it's
absolutely
close.
adorable, watch her on SNL.
But you
She
know,
was
I saw her. Hey,
great on
speaking of
SNL.
back in the
plays
Halloween
Twilight
thing,
girl exactly how she's described in the book.
The Lego
because
brick.
She's not described.
You
in the
literally
book.
could have got anybody
Yeah.
to play her.
anyways.
Like,
But like all the entire cast of that movie was just they did so good, and it's also like it shows you pretty early on that it's not going to pull any punches because like just like plot twist, spoiler alert, one of the characters dies like mid sentence, and I'm like, how are they going to resolve this? They don't. You never figure out how a story ends because he's dead now. So I hope you didn't want a resolution to that part of the movie.
nice.
Yeah, it was hardcore.
You know who kills him?
Actually, that's not true. You kind of do get a little bit of resolution to his story. But only in hindsight you kind of realize that it's all kind of connected. It's this whole weird thing. It's such a good movie. I want to watch again!
Lori, what did you see?
Garbage.
So I'm kind of stoked because out of all of these, the one I saw is probably the most, like, argumentative on whether it was good or bad.
It was bad! What movie are you talking about?
I saw Venom.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I genuinely didn't remember what movie you were talking about.
I went and saw Venom on opening night, and
Wow.
critics
Really?
hate the movie. Yeah. Critics absolutely hate this movie. It's got a pretty bad critic Rotten Tomato score.
Let's look it up.
How?
Did you
Yeah.
just want
I
to
think it's
go
like
see it
50.
on opening night? Or did
I
you
mean,
just happen to?
We just happened
okay.
to go. The
I didn't
theater's
know
like
if you were
right
like,
there,
I
and I was
must see it on opening night.
no,
or-
we
yeah, it
just happened to go on opening
It's got
night.
a 30% critic and an 88 audience.
And so that kind of right there tells you about this movie. If you're going into
probably
it
good.
to see like an Infinity War level superhero movie, don't. Like, it's
I mean, that's my thing with it. I feel like I would like it because the vibe I get from it is early 2000s superhero movie.
It is. It's very much early 2000s. And the thing is you expect like kind of this dark, gritty, because I think what critics were expecting was a dark, gritty Spider-Man. And what they ended up getting is kind of like a buddy cop movie, except one of those buddies is a symbiote.
Well, yeah, so it's the same, not person, but Like, it's not actually two people, right? It's like him talking to himself-ish.
But...
Or is there actually Venom?
There is actually
guy?
Venom, and there is Eddie. And so, it's like, you'll
no,
hear...
but that's who Venom's taken over,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, that's what I was asking, if there was actually another person and then Venom.
No, but there are times where Venom comes out and like talks to it.
Yeah, okay.
But it's amusing because what you expect is I'm stuck with this monster and now I have to overcome the monsters of my life and this monster and stuff like that. And the monster's like, I'm going to kill you and stuff. And in reality, it's like, Eddie, I'm hungry. Can we have some pizza rolls? And Eddie's like, no, Venom, can we eat something healthy for once? And it's like, Eddie, I'm hungry. And it's a really, I don't know how to describe it. There's like a motorcycle chase scene in it. And it's one of the first times that you really kind of see them like work together. And it ends up being a great like thing, like just a great chase. But to see the relationship between these two, which is literally a parasite, and they start working together and they almost become like one by the end of it. It's such a fun movie.
You just had like a sitcom.
They really could.
Venom.
I'm reading the reviews and I feel like the critics really are hating it more just to be cool.
Yeah.
Because like this thing he was talking about, he's like, it's not a perfect movie, but there are definitely laughs to be had and it's okay. It's 0 out of 5. I'm like, you just gave it a 2.5 rating.
I feel like Rotten Tomatoes is biased because it has all those critic reviews, and then the 3 audience reviews it shows are all the 2-star ones.
I know.
Well, the Rotten Tomatoes is an aggregator, so it collects reviews. It's not like one reviewer.
These are all from other sites and stuff.
It's basically a collection of reviews from different
so are they just
publications.
Known audience reviewers then?
Yeah, they're super reviewers.
But I mean,
which would be critics, I suppose.
It's like
basically.
Out of a 10, I would at least
critics.
give this movie somewhere between a 5.5 to a 7. Like,
at first I thought we were going on a 0 to 5. I was like, damn.
No, out of a 10.
Perfect score! Woo!
Woohoo! But no, it's like, because I really want to go see it again, really bad. I want to just go watch it again. The chemistry between Eddie and Venom is some of the best, like, chemistry on screen that I've seen in a while. And
I don't know. Have you seen Breaking Bad?
That's because Tom Hardy's had an actual alien symbiote attached to him for the past several years. That's how he got the role.
It's pretty impressive. Thank you for that movie trivia fact, William.
No, this is a nerdly. That's a nerdly fact.
It's a nerdly fact. Tom Benham stunned casting directors
That's what we should have talked about in the Halloween podcast.
Benham?
I forgot about
when he came in to.
We were supposed to watch Over the Garden Wall.
Oh yeah.
Oh well.
That's a rock fact.
That's a rock fact. Okay.
So did Tom Hardy did do the voice of Venom?
Did he?
That's what it says here.
That's what it says.
You have any more to say about Venom?
So it literally is a buddy cop movie with himself.
It really
It must
is.
have been fun to record.
It's very much a buddy cop movie that happens to have superpowers. I like that in the end that you think that the woman in it who's supposed to be the woman he's chasing after, like the whole movie, they don't end up together. And I mean, that might be a spoiler, sorry, but I love
What if
when
we ever avoided spoilers on this movie?
I mean, true.
On this
on
podcast?
this particular movie.
Damn it, Lori, you spoiled the whole movie when you told me that they're one and the same.
I didn't know.
Wait, Venom's in this movie?
What? But no, I love the movie where they're like, insert female character, and you think that she's there for the action hero to fall in love with, and it doesn't happen. And because that's why I liked Rampage. Well, I liked Rampage for a lot, but I love that in Rampage that this woman that's in it that you think is supposed to end up with the action hero, it doesn't.
Lizzie?
Huh?
My
And
favorite
the same
part of
thing
Yes,
happens
the
in-
end of the end of Rampage,
end
the
of The
Rock
Rock.
ends up with the giant alligator monster.
My favorite part of Venom
Is the Rock
was
not
when
George?
My favorite part of Venom was when the criminal went up to Venom and says, "Man, you smell like up, dog." And Venom goes, "What's up, dog?" He goes, "Not much. What's up with you?" And then Venom ate him.
No,
I mean, that was the movie.
my favorite part of the first Man was when Neil Armstrong
landed on the moon.
We
landed on the moon!
And an alien came out and said, "Hey, what's up with all that ligma?"
Jesus.
What's ligma?
And then the alien went, "Lick my balls, Earth."
But
I tried to get my boss with that. He wasn't having it. He rolled his eyes at me. And I was like, well,
I had to try.
the weirdest part of Venom is when Venom gets titties and is a woman.
He puts on that crown from Mario
3
and
minutes,
becomes
yeah.
a princess.
Is it like
Yes,
Looney Tunes?
Vemette, and then proceeds to make out with Tom Hardy. Am I joking? Am I telling the truth?
don't know.
No one at this table can tell.
Is it like
No.
Bugs Bunny where Venom just throws on a dress and a wig?
Not sure what to search here.
Are you trying to look up a female Venom?
Yes.
But yeah, my favorite part of the movie is when Venom's a woman and Venom chooses to be a super curvaceous woman so that he can make out with Tom Hardy. Because...
It's because you're a girl. Of course, Venom being a woman would be your favorite part. That's a joke, by the way. Don't get triggered at my
That's
jokes.
an ongoing
With my
joke
12 gauge
that
head
William does
cannon.
at me.
Triggered.
That's actually the funniest thing I've heard today, Josh. No joke.
Wow,
I'm
that's
processing
sad.
it.
It's the end of the world.
Anyways, this was the worst podcast ever.
You say that every time.
Yeah, no, I haven't said it in a while. Congratulations for bringing it back.
It's because I'm here. You're
I
welcome.
watched Maniac on Netflix.
I've
Have you
watched
seen
part
it?
of Maniac.
It's really good. It's like Eternal Sunshine meets Inception.
Oh, that sounds awful.
It's great. It's so good.
It's like, was that supposed to make me want to see the movie?
It's so good. I love
Is
it
that
so
not
much.
just Memento?
Huh?
Vanilla Sky.
I mean, that's exactly what it sounds like you just
No, but what it is,
it kind of is.
it's the premise is these people with different mental emotional problems go to this drug trial. They're testing out this drug.
Oh, that's the one with Emma Stone.
Yeah, Emma
Emma
Stone and
Stone
Jonah
and
Hill.
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill.
It's
I think I
supposed
did
to
watch that.
cure.
Yeah, okay.
It's supposed to cure all emotional problems, whatnot, and they're doing a trial. And the trial, they take the pill, and then they go into this thing where they're inside mind or whatnot, reliving memories, specific memories, and trying to figure out what's wrong with them. And that is simulated by an artificial intelligence computer. And what happens is one of the people working on the project gives the artificial intelligence computer a little bit of empathy in order to provide a safety net in case any of the patients lose their minds.
Because, all good sci-fi stuff starts with giving robots emotions.
And the head doctor ends up having a intimate affair, quote unquote, with the AI, and he dies. And the AI goes into mourning and ends up connecting Jonah Hill and Emma Stone's character while they're under, so that she can experience help or whatever. She wants to experience emotions and becomes an actively involved in the program by connecting their minds together and making them experience what they experience together while under the drug, whatnot. And it becomes this weird, trippy, it's like Eternal Sunshine because it's them reliving
Traumatic
memories,
parts.
but it's not like their actual memories. It's like fictitious versions
Yeah.
the
of what they want
first
to experience.
episode involves them, stealing a lemur.
Yeah,
That's
and
what I
it's-
do on a first date.
but it's
I
like
mean,
that.
yeah.
But there's also elements of Inception because different things that
They steal a lemur.
they
in a
think
dream.
about kind of show up in the experiences they're doing. But there's one where they're stealing a lemur, one that's like a whodunit type,
And that's about as
clue
far as
type
I've made it.
There's one that takes place in a fantasy land. It's very, very weird, but it's very cool.
And it's a really, dry level show.
Yeah.
It's a very dry...
Well, aren't they emotionless?
Humor.
Yeah.
Or in a way, at least.
It's so good, though. It's so
And
good.
it's really amusing too because it's almost like they're two kind of opposite characters because Emma Stone's character is addicted to the drug and Jonah Hill's character for a
Doesn't
while
want it.
refuses to take the drug.
Yeah.
So he didn't volunteer for it?
He did because he
Yeah.
needed
So after he took it, he didn't want to take it again?
No, like in the first trial, he didn't take it at all.
Yeah, because he's a paranoid schizophrenic.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason he's doing the drug
because he keeps seeing his
trial
brother.
is because he loses his job and needs
something.
money, so he volunteers for the job because you get money from doing it.
Gotcha.
And he hallucinates a fictitious version of his brother.
Mm-hmm.
And because he's a paranoid schizophrenic, and he doesn't take his medicine because he can't figure out what's real and what's not real, and he hates not being able to tell, but so on and so forth. And Emma Stone's character has borderline personality disorder, and it's them trying to overcome that and all their emotional problems. And I'm not gonna say anymore because I don't want to talk too much about it.
Fantastic,
but
show.
it is really good,
and it's one of those things. One of my favorite things is watching comedic actors, especially like silly comedic actors playing in serious roles. And Jonah Hill does such a good job in this.
Yeah, dude, I've loved watching Jonah Hill's career escalate because he hates so much the what's the word I'm looking for?
Stupidity of all the characters.
The legacy he has.
Yeah.
Because he's always either the fat kid from Accepted or the fat kid from Superbad.
Yeah.
And he hates that. Anytime it's brought up, he gets pissed off. And so he's trying to like branch out. He just directed a movie that just came out recently.
Really?
Yeah, it's called Mid-90s.
Oh.
But he's been doing much more dramatic stuff lately.
For whatever
He's really
reason,
good
ever
at
since
it.
I've seen it, when I see Jonah Hill, I think War Dogs. You see that movie? That's a really
I'm not seeing it.
really good movie.
I always think of
he
getting
plays he plays a sociopath in it basically, and he does a really good job. It's kind of
But
weird.
I love seeing like goofy comedic actors playing something serious. Like it's really cool to get to see Jonah Hill playing, like Maniac.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed Ben Stiller in that movie.
Walter Mitty?
Yeah, Walter Mitty.
That was a good movie.
When Jim Carrey did The Number 23. Like I love seeing actors who go from this to this.
If you're gonna go for a Jim Carrey serious movie, Eternal Sunshine is definitely.
Well, I haven't
the
seen
best
that.
one.
Have you not seen Eternal Sunshine?
That's in my top 10
It's a really good movie.
all-time favorites. It's number 10, I believe, in my all-time favorites.
Oh my gosh, who actually puts up a list?
William.
I think we have 3 or 4
Obviously,
episodes about William's
rhetorical.
lists. At some point.
I have a top 10 favorite movies list.
Oh no, he's pulling it out.
No!
You see what you did, Josh?
You made William pull it out!
No means no, William.
No, don't look at it!
It's
Don't
only
look at
10
Oh, no!
movies, Josh. And I'm pretty sure
Jesus.
you'll hate all of them.
Yeah, I've seen the list.
Look how
Never
long
heard of
his
that
list
one.
is.
I've never watched that. I've never watched that. I've never heard of that. I've watched half of that. Never watched that. Never watched that. I've watched that. Never heard of that, and I've never watched
I
that.
should accidentally smack the mic.
Don't know it. It's okay. Haven't seen it. Great movie. That movie is way overrated because of you two.
That's just the way fans of that movie are.
Yeah, The Big Lebowski. Never seen it. I barely remember Blade Runner, but it's not bad. Back to the Future is awesome. Have you never seen Back to the Future?
Yeah, I said I saw that.
Okay, well,
The
Back
first
to the
time,
Future's on your top
the
10?
first time I ever fully saw Back to
I
the
love Back to
Future
the
was on
Future.
Back to the Future Day.
Back to the Future is a perfect movie.
How come only Before Sunrise?
Huh?
Is it just better than the rest?
I like it more than the other two.
Because after sunrise, it's too bright.
I think that's actually what it's called, isn't it? Isn't one of them After Sunrise?
It's before sunrise, before sunset, and before midnight.
I knew they were close.
Mhm.
Oh, so Before Sunrise is the first one.
Yeah.
I thought that was the second for some reason.
Mm-mm.
No, that's not horrible. I've always wanted to see Trainspotting.
I love Trainspotting.
I've been told it's good.
It's great.
I'm so far away from the mic.
Just yell.
I will always maintain that There Will Be Blood is the greatest movie ever made.
I don't know that one. Is that the top one?
That's my number 5, I think.
My number 5 movie is the greatest movie ever
Well,
made.
you can have a favorite and one that you consider the best ever.
Yeah, but they're supposed to be on different lists.
I'm shocked that that movie
That
where
makes
Daniel
no
Day-Lewis
sense to me.
so
Yes, it
on
does.
your
Yes,
list.
it
No,
does.
to me is what I said. I don't
Oh.
get it. I don't get your.
Okay, so
That was just.
How
like
How
a
was the
contradiction.
movie about
No, I can
Daniel
totally get
Day-Lewis sewing not in your top?
I liked it. It's just not in my top. There Will Be Blood is better.
It's number 11.
What movie?
That movie where
Because
Daniel
look,
Day-Lewis
okay,
sews some dresses.
The Fountain is my favorite movie, just based on its subject material. But There Will Be Blood
Wait, was that
is
on the list? The
a
Fountain?
absolute perfect movie. Everything in that movie transcends every other movie ever.
I didn't really actually.
Then why is it not number one?
Because it's not my favorite. You get it
Nice.
now.
That's stupid, but I get it.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't see the list. Was The Fountain on there?
Yeah, Fountain was number 1.
Oh, nice.
Fountain's
Okay.
my favorite.
That's weird, but okay.
I want to make a list of my favorite movies because none of you guys would agree with any of my favorite
do top
movies.
10. I could maybe do top like 300, and they'd all be even.
That's why you're not an official
All tied
member
for
of the
first.
movie
Yeah,
podcast.
they're all tied for like 4th.
See, they're all like 3.5. It's fine.
I actually think I like the second Trainspotting more than the first, but for
what
different
the
reasons.
Yeah.
Don't look at, what you looking at me like I'll understand.
I just happened to
It's
look
about-
at you and
I
I
don't
looked
even
up,
know what that
so-
movie's about.
Best movies ever.
Trains.
And Spotting.
And
Breakfast Club.
spotting the train.
Moulin Rouge. Pursuit of Happiness.
Cool Runnings.
Cool Runnings is up there. I don't know if it's like the best movie
Are you
ever,
going best
but-
or favorite?
See, okay, I was just about to say I get it now because that is one of my favorite movies, but it's definitely not like the best.
The
movie.
way I would handle
But
it,
see,
I have a list of favorites.
Yeah,
and
that's
a
what
list
I
of
was.
best.
Yeah, exactly. I would. These are my favorite movies.
But William's dumb or not dumb. I guess it depends on how you want to look
the
at it.
term-
Well, it just so
Terminal.
happens the movie I think is the
Holy
greatest happens
crap.
to be on
You
my
know,
top
yeah.
10.
The Terminal is a great movie.
See, Terminal is Josh's favorite movie.
I don't know about that. I've seen it many
I've
First
seen it
time I
many
ever
times
saw-
because of you.
First time I ever saw My Cousin Vinny was because of Josh.
Dude, My Cousin Vinny is also a great movie.
I have the Deadpool cover of that.
See, it's funny because I talk about Josh's taste in movies all the time, but Josh really does have a really great taste in movies.
It's a really unique.
He just also has really bad taste in movies at the same time. Like
I just
he
watch
doesn't
anything,
really
basically.
discriminate.
Yeah, Josh
Yeah.
doesn't.
I'll watch anything.
Man,
Except
Josh doesn't like my movie.
I just.
I have a.
I
I think it's
weird-
a mixed bag.
Josh likes
some-
movies with plot.
Okay.
There's some he likes and some he doesn't
Yes,
when it comes to
yeah.
my suggestions.
That's like Wes Anderson. I love almost everything. Bottle Rockets, Royal Tenenbaums, Moonrise Kingdom. Just I still haven't seen Fantastic Mr. Fox. I still need to see
I
it.
recognized one of those movies you just said.
Bottle Rockets is really good. What's
Rushmore.
No, I can't watch Rushmore. It gives me anxiety.
You can't watch what?
Rushmore.
Oh yeah, Rushmore's.
Rushmore is a weird one.
Thinking about Moonrise Kingdom
No.
and Budapest.
Is Bottle Rockets the one with the train?
That's
Darjeeling
Trainspotting.
Limited.
No, it's not. What? Yes.
Darjeeling Limited.
Yes. Okay. See, I thought those were two different movies. That
glad
one is
someone
very, very good
appreciated
as
that.
well. No, not Trainspotting. But no, Birdman is just. I don't know.
movie ever?
I didn't like it.
Birdman is one of
Oh, here we
those
go.
that you kind of just.
No, yeah, I get it. I could see how you could like it, but I think it's
Yeah.
really stupid. Just kind of the same way I think The Village is stupid, even though a lot of people like it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like Boyhood is because you hyped it up for me so much, and then it just wasn't.
Did I really?
that great?
Because I remember showing it to you. I don't remember talking
You were
about it.
super
though.
hyped about Boyhood.
I was
And
really-
that was such a cool thing to do.
I was
And
really
then
into
they
Boyhood at the time.
Really didn't. The movie wasn't that great.
My love for Richard Linklater is transcendent.
What
Which,
about-
looking back now, I still like Boyhood. I don't think I like it as much as I did when it came out.
You were kind of disappointed with it when it came out, if I remember correctly.
I think there were certain parts of it
Yeah.
that I didn't like. I think as a whole, I was like, it's good, but it's not like.
That's a good movie.
But I still like it, but I haven't watched it in a long time.
I've only seen it that one time.
It's a really long movie. You really have to kind of dedicate some time to watching
They
it.
filmed
Not
it
much-
over
not as
a
much
long
time as they dedicated.
Yeah,
But
and then it sucked.
I think
I don't know.
some of my favorite movies. I have to go by. There's certain movies that I'll literally just like watch like over.
The Terminal was one of those.
And
Just 'cause we had it
Bachelor
on DVD.
Weekend is one of
Right.
those. It's got Andrew Scott in it. It's an Irish movie. Moriarty
Okay.
from Sherlock.
what's that movie where he has Lizard Bro?
Oh, Dead Bodies.
Rango.
Yes.
That's a good movie. That movie's...
I watched that movie at your house, and I really liked it. Even though I don't remember anything that happens in it, except for he has a lizard bro.
That would be a Halloween movie I like. It's not like Halloween, but it's kind of messed up.
I can't
Happy
think
Death
of
Day.
a movie I like.
And
Like,
then-
not like I hate all movies, but like I don't have any movie that stands out as like, that's my favorite movie. Maybe.
See, I have favorites, but I can't put one above.
I don't even
And
have
then
favorites, do
I
I?
got-
I just have different
I got Pride.
genres. Like,
Think-
he kept saying
Which is...
Fast Times at Ridgemont High was your favorite. Bad
Labyrinth.
Times at the El
Labyrinth is
Royale.
good. Bad Times at El Royale is a really
It's
good
really
one.
good.
I'd probably say, not counting that one. That one has
Christopher
to.
Robin is
That one has to
really
be.
good.
Yeah, anything. Those have to be out for a certain amount of time before I can actually count them as favorite. Because I might have just been like, I was so excited when I saw them.
Greatest Showman would be on mine.
Greatest Showman, yeah, maybe.
Pride would
That's the
be
thing is like
on
I can't think
mine.
of any until people say it. Like, oh yeah.
And then
But does it count then if they have to do that?
speaking of stuff that's deeply
know.
hated that I love, Grease 2 is probably one of my all-time favorite
I think, like,
movies.
the first one.
I
The only-
love Grease 2.
the only movie I-
so deeply.
The only movie that came to mind when I was trying to think of my favorite movies during this whole conversation was A Knight's Tale.
I haven't seen that.
Dude, A Knight's Tale is a really good movie. That would be in my favorites.
You know what
for
movie
sure.
I like that a lot of people didn't like?
Every movie you've ever
Speed
seen.
Racer.
I haven't
Oh,
seen it.
Speed Racer.
haven't
I thought you were gonna say Speed at first.
I
I
did
love
too. I
the
was like,
Speed
yeah.
Racer movie.
I was like, Speed wasn't that good.
Speed was okay.
That was alright.
Is Speed the movie where the dude gets decapitated by the... He's on top of the bus, and they go through a tunnel, and like...
I think maybe.
Probably.
I don't know.
I don't
There's
remember
like
that
3
part.
of them now, so
Yeah, I don't remember that in the first
I don't know
one.
how that happens more than once.
That's the one with Keanu Reeves, right?
Yeah.
Where he like
On the
he, like,
bus.
Speaking of
the
Speed
one
Racer,
and he like stops
Yeah.
the bullets.
I found out today that the Wachowskis are retiring from
Dude.
filmmaking.
The One is a good movie.
I mean,
Yeah, that's a good
Who?
movie.
the Wachowskis are retiring.
One of the best movies ever. Not really, but I'm gonna say it. Rumble in the Bronx.
I haven't seen it.
Dude.
It's an okay movie.
Classic Jackie Chan. Funny action movie.
It is classic Jackie Chan. That
That's
doesn't
like-
necessarily make it a good movie,
No,
but it's
a
classic
great
Jackie
movie.
Chan. Way better than
I'll
Rush Hour.
never get over
I like Rush Hour.
I do
but
too.
it's
the fact
definitely
that
better
they
than
made
Rush
an
Hour.
Around the World in 80 Days movie and said, you know who would be a great person to play Passport 2? Jackie
Jackie
Chan.
Chan.
You ever seen that one?
Have you watched that?
My
movie? I
mom-
actually really enjoyed that.
My
movie.
mom
It's
is
a fun
in love
movie.
with the movie Spy Next Door, which is a Jackie
I
Chan
haven't seen it
movie.
either.
Yeah.
But it's
I haven't
Steve
seen it,
Coogan
but-
plays the main guy, and then
He's
Jackie Chan
hilarious.
plays Passport 2. And it's weird. It's really weird.
He's just faking the friend.
But I thought it was really funny. It's a nice little family movie. Getting stuff under my
It's
feet.
funny. Who plays the guy that tries to steal the girl? Is it Arnold Schwarzenegger?
He's in it. I can't remember if that's
Doesn't he
him.
try to get the girl to stay?
This
I
podcast
think
went in a weird
so.
direction.
It really did.
Well, you
We're
only
just
had
talking
3
about
movies
movies
to talk
now.
About.
Well, I mean, normally that's all we have, but we
No, but I'll go back to There Will Be Blood. Everyone says, every list you'll ever see, everyone always puts Godfather number 1.
Man.
On-
Never seen
I like The
it.
Godfather, but it's just, I feel like you have to adapt over the years because better movies have come out. Yes, The Godfather was good for its time, but it just, There Will Be Blood. Every single moment of that movie relies on Daniel Day-Lewis's performance. And that movie, Daniel Day-Lewis transcended traditional acting.
Is that the Godfather?
Huh?
Is he the Godfather?
Daniel Day-Lewis?
I guess.
No.
Oh.
I'm talking about There Will Be Blood.
Oh. I didn't
And how it's
follow
better
you.
than
I'm
The
sorry.
Godfather.
Okay.
Daniel Day-Lewis playing Daniel Plainview in that movie, no acting performance will ever be able to reach that level of acting, I think. Ever. And that's why I think like it's one of the greatest movies ever
I don't
made.
know. Have you seen Trolls 2? That kid's a pretty good actor.
Oh my god!
Grandpa! Neilbog's Goblin spelled backwards!
No, but that will always be one of my strongest opinions is that Daniel Day-Lewis became the greatest actor ever because of that movie. Because I've never seen a performance that's ever been that good. Where I've seen an actor completely disappear into a person
just completely disappear. Like he just vanished. Like
Speaking of
William was
completely
watching the
Like,
movie
that's
and
the
he
only
just went.
performance I've ever seen where I've almost been convinced that
got a
that character was a real
91% on Rotten
person.
Tomatoes.
Speaking of completely disappearing, it makes me think. I'm interested to see.
I don't even know
Vice.
this guy.
Vice? Yes, it looks so good. Oh man, it looks so good. Have you seen the trailer for Vice?
Did anyone ever
the Dick
see
Cheney
Tag?
movie?
Oh!
With Christian Bale and Sam Rockwell, which is the most perfect casting
I wouldn't
ever.
think, but it is. Well, Sam Rockwell, yeah. But Christian Bale, that was weird. But
That's such a
damn.
weird choice, but you
The
see
first
it.
thing-
The voice, the posture, everything. It's
They're
great.
making another Johnny English.
Yes, they are.
I was looking
Quality.
at Daniel Day-Lewis, which the
He
picture
just-
is crap, but and then
Oh, it looks like it's gonna
Oh.
be so good.
I was like, is he
it's
Johnny
the,
English?
I'm
it's the
excited
weirdest
for that.
advertisement.
Man.
All right.
My Left Foot is
What?
another movie. With
Ooh,
Daniel
that's a good
Day-Lewis.
movie.
It just came up.
That's the one where he plays
It
the
has
writer who
97%.
had cerebral palsy and could only had control of his left foot.
He's got a lot of high stuff on.
You know what's a good movie that I just thought about? I don't know why. A movie I really enjoyed that's not a good movie, but is also a very good movie. The Fantastic Fear of Everything. Is that what it's called?
Oh yeah, that movie was weird.
I know, right? Like, I don't know what made me think of it. I was just trying to think of movies I enjoyed.
Oh, it's Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg.
That was a really good movie.
You know what
really
movie
weird.
I
We're
really
just talking
wanna
about random
see?
movies now.
You know what movie I really want to see? The House with a Clock in its walls. Like,
Yeah.
really bad. I want to see it.
The house. With
The
think
house.
is that
with
the one-
grandfather
we-
that
we-
suffocated.
The house that has clocks.
Yeah,
and
That's the one with
walls.
Jackety Black.
We talked about this before, and I couldn't remember the name. And it was like the house with the clock in its walls, house clock wall.
That house
clocking
with
wall,
some clocks.
the ticky house clock wall thing.
The
The
Tiki
clock
House
with
Man.
a house in its
God,
hand.
the ticky house man sounds like a bad creepy
The
pasta.
tickety tockety man.
The tickety talky man.
The pee pee poo poo man.
Oh man, that's gonna. I'm gonna find that. That's gonna be the picture we post on Instagram for this episode. The pee pee poo poo.
I just want to go stare at that picture again.
Anyways, I think we're done. We've been talking way too long about
Been
random-
rambling.
That was our train leaving the station.
Yeah, our train of thought never left the station.
I was rewatching Ant-Man and the Wasp the other day,
No, you
and one thing I've noticed that I didn't really pick up on my first viewing was they kind of dumbed down Scott a little bit more in this movie than the first one, which is kind of
Really?
disappointing. But
Which the whole point is that he's super smart.
You won't be laughing when he kills you.
the pee pee poo poo man.
What's his actual?
The Bye Bye
Bye-Bye
Man.
That's right.
It's not any better. I don't get why the pee pee poo poo man like caught on.
Because
like
it's
it did.
funny, Brad. Because
I
we're
mean,
all children.
Because,
Such
well, it was a whole
lowbrow
meme. Everyone was
humor.
making fun of it because that was such a dumb name for a character, the Bye Bye Man. Because he makes you go bye bye. And it's like one more of those and he's in sync. And it's like, it became a meme that they all just made fun of it. And out of nowhere, there was the pee pee poo poo man. And it's just the best. Takes us all back to like 3rd grade.
I read an article
That's a
that
picture straight out of
Disney is
Legends of
actually
Law.
looking into rebooting Pirates of the Caribbean.
Why?
I don't know.
so instant. Why?
Like, that's not. Okay, for starters, the first one only came out in 2004.
Yeah, it's still
Yeah, and they won't have Johnny Depp, and that's not good enough.
No, that's totally fine.
I was just making a joke.
I got it.
Well,
Johnny Depp
And then,
signed on to a bunch of
Like,
movies
the
lately.
most. Yeah, he's probably trying
'Cause
to
he went
stay
broke.
relevant after being a beater.
I don't know. It looks like the thing is, what gets me is that the movies he's signing on for are like actual acting roles and not, I get to dress up like a clown.
That's because Tim Burton and Helena
does he play
Bonham
the
Carter
clown?
got divorced and he's going through a phase.
He blames himself for their breakup.
he's not their kid anymore.
So,
But
it looks like he
it's
may
like-
actually try to start acting again.
That's
but I
cool.
don't
I'm
know.
probably not going to watch any of the movies.
Yeah.
But it's like there was just a Pirates of the Caribou movie out.
Pirates of the Caribou.
Okay.
I'm a pirate.
The thing about the Pirates of the Caribbean, they had the 3 movies and they had the 2 that came out after. I actually like them better. Like, I genuinely enjoyed
But it's like
the fourth one and the fifth one. The fifth one was not great, but it wasn't bad. The fourth one was really good.
I like the first.
the
maybe I'm
last
just
Pirates of
remembering
the
it wrong.
Caribbean movie that came out like a year ago.
Oh no,
Why would you reboot that series?
Well, they gotta plan
There's
it now so
no
it can fail and then
point.
come back.
because they can't. No, it's because they wanted to make another one and they don't want to do it with Johnny Depp.
Ah.
I'm not saying it made
Maybe
sense.
it'll be about Gibbs
I'm
when
just-
he doesn't have Johnny.
I met him.
I know, I
I
was
like
It was
there.
really awkward because I didn't know what to say to him because I didn't expect to meet him.
You should
And
have
he
threw water on him and said, "Mr. Gibbs."
I told him about how Pirates of the Caribbean helped me pass my English speech, my
your
speech class in
pass
college.
your gas.
No,
That's so nice.
Because he was like, yeah,
He's so,
he
like,
was so
quiet
kind, and he could tell I
and-
was freaking
Yeah.
out. And he was like, "How are you, my darling?" And I was like,
I was dressed as Bob Fossil at the time.
I really like the first two.
That was also when I got to meet Van Gogh.
I don't really like the third one that much. I don't remember the fourth one at
The
all.
fourth one was the one with the mermaids and
I mean, I remember it, but I don't
It was-
remember
it was so
anything else
good.
that
I thought that
happened
was
in
the
the
third
movie.
one.
No. The third one is the last Davy Jones one.
The
Davy
third
Jones
one
was
is
the second and
Atwood's
the third.
End.
The third one was second, and the second one was about Davy Jones, and at the very end he gets eaten by the Kraken. And the third
Okay.
one they rescue him from Davy Jones' locker, and they kill Davy Jones. And
So was the fourth one the one that doesn't have Elizabeth? And
Yes.
The
Okay.
fourth one's about the Fountain of Youth.
Because the
love
fourth
that
one,
one. I
the
really like
fourth
that
one
one.
is the one I went with you guys to go see it,
Yeah.
and I hadn't been feeling all that great, and I fell asleep like 3 times during that movie. And this was back when I was like gun ho Johnny Depp,
Yeah.
and I was like, I fell asleep a lot during this movie, and Johnny Depp's in it. Something's wrong with me. So I went to the doctor the next day, and that's when I found out I had mono.
oh, nice. It's a really good movie. The fifth one wasn't as
And that's how
good.
Johnny Depp helped me
but I
discover I
feel
was
like-
sick.
I feel like the fifth one, Captain Jack, felt more like original Captain Jack.
The last one that I watched was the fourth. I was done with the series after that.
I mean, the fifth one's not
lost
bad.
interest.
If you just get bored.
Yeah.
I mean, I only watched it because it was on Netflix. I didn't like go out of my way to watch it.
Movie at the movie
I
theater.
fell asleep during Super 8
Speaking
the second
of-
time.
I fell asleep
That's
during
good.
that.
Yeah, I
I
was
fell
really
asleep
tired.
during I fell asleep during like I think it was Batman versus Super. No, I fell asleep during Batman 3, the one with Bane. That's what it's actually called. And then I fell asleep.
Batman 3, the one with Bane.
Yeah. And then I
Oh.
fell asleep during Jumanji. I fell asleep. I was just really tired. I go after work, and so it's hard for me to stay awake sometimes.
I paid for a movie. I'm gonna watch
I
every
didn't though.
second.
I had Movie Pass, broski.
Oh yeah.
And then I fell asleep during the
Did
post,
pay.
but that's because that movie sucked.
Okay, so I'm going to tell my story of The Hobbit.
Oh, God.
I think
So-
we've gone about too far, right? We need to stop this podcast right now.
Y'all went to the
We're
midnight
an
showing
hour
of
and
the
15 minutes in.
30 minutes and that was all y'all singing.
You guys went and saw.
45 minutes.
You guys went to the midnight showing of the first Hobbit. I didn't go because I wasn't in town, but I came home and we went again that Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all went Thursday night, and then Friday night we all went again, and I went with
So
you
easily.
because I didn't sleep Thursday night and I was awake all day Friday, and so like halfway through the first Hobbit, I fell asleep, and I fell asleep during the rock giant fight. And I didn't wake up again until they were escaping the Cave Troll Mountain. So I slept through that whole scene. And so the next night we went again because I fell asleep. And then I fell asleep again. And so I didn't watch The Hobbit all the way through until it came out on DVD. And I watched it. Okay, so then we went and saw, the next year we saw Desolation of Smog.
And
But
we
did
went and we did the double.
We did the double feature and they were both in 3D.
That's why
And
it sucked.
by the time...
Because remember, the theater messed up and we didn't get to see the next one in 3D.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, we just had to change.
We changed theaters.
Because all I remember was it was only us and a family, and as we were changing, the like mom and the other family was like, "We deserve to get our money back because we have to." Da, 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 da. And I was like, "Lady, shut up!"
No, I
and they were
remember-
like, "We'll give y'all free tickets to another movie," and I was like, "Okay, I mean, I don't need that. We're still seeing the movie. We just had to get up and walk to another theater."
But I remember it was in 3D because during the spider scene in the woods, I had to cover my eyes because I was having a full-blown fear, panic attack.
See,
I'm deathly afraid of spiders.
High five.
And that scene fucked me up.
Kind of me too, but that scene didn't bother me for whatever reason. They're just
It
so
really bothered me.
I went with one of my friends to go see Desolation of Smog. After I went and saw it with you guys, I went with him too. And we got to that scene and I sat there like this because I know my limits. And he looked at me and he's like, are you okay? And then he was like, oh, yeah. And so I have to do that whole scene. And it's just the idea of them like everywhere, and then the jumping out part, because I thought it was over at one point and one jumped out the first time, so I knew, I'm like,
But anyways, we went to see that, and during Desolation of Smog, I fell asleep because I was really tired because we were at the movies all night, and the 6 hours of 3D hurt.
That was a bad
and so I was like, I
mistake.
have to close my eyes, and I fell asleep. And then a few days later, I used the free movie ticket to go see it again because Josh had taken me to work that next morning and it was my ride.
Yeah.
But he had to work late.
used my free ticket to go see Maleficent, and I had to pay $1.50 because that trash can movie was a new movie at the time, and I was so mad because 1, I wasted my free movie ticket, and 2, I wasted $1.50 on that trash. I hate that movie.
No, but I had time to kill until Josh came to pick me up. I was gonna see the new Anchorman, but I decided to see The Hobbit again because it was longer. Because by the time that movie would have been over, Josh would have been there to pick me up, and I wanted to take a nap. And so I used my free movie ticket to see that movie specifically to go to sleep, and stayed awake during the whole movie. And I was like, what the hell?
I remember whenever we all went to see Super 8 and we dragged Brad to go, and he had just got off work. And so we sat in the very back and he laid down in that open part of the floor and went to sleep. And that other family left halfway through the movie.
I remember we went and saw, when we saw Prometheus and Rock of Ages.
Oh, God.
I really like Prometheus.
Was there not more to that story?
No, it was him. That's the whole thing was about him falling asleep during movies.
Yeah.
Oh, you fell
Yeah.
asleep
Yeah.
during that. Okay.
He
The
fallen asleep.
only Hobbit I remember seeing in theaters was the first one. That's because that was like the first time we really went to the Monaco. Me and Lori went.
I don't think you went
God,
with us to
that
do the
was
double
so
feature.
cool.
I think you had to work that night.
saw-
No, you did because Josh's car broke down and you came and picked us up.
Oh, was that when you
was
guys almost
that
died? I
night.
remember that.
Yes.
That was because Josh was like, it's okay, we have blankets. And I yelled at you guys because y'all kept opening and shutting the doors. And I'm like, you guys, keep the heat in.
I keep going out. I kept going out for smoke breaks.
Which car?
The one that got
Yours.
towed.
The green one.
Okay, so yeah, that was a long time
The
ago.
beach. Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Bertha.
Yes. But yeah, Brad came and picked us up, and we all had to. It was us three,
I
Ian,
remember that.
and Jacob, and I think Nicole might have been with us too.
No idea.
I
but
don't know,
we-
but we all had to like
We
cram.
all had to cram into Josh and Brad's.
I got the
grandma
front
car.
seat, so all of them were squished in the back.
The red car or the black
The
car?
black one.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I
it
really
was
don't
bad.
remember that.
I don't think Ian was with us. I think it was just us three and Jacob and Nicole.
I think so.
But we all had to squeeze into the
Yeah.
back of
we
Brad's
were all
grandma car.
cold, and Brad had blankets too.
No, but the other movies I've fallen asleep during. I fell asleep during Alice Through the Looking Glass.
I still haven't
I
seen
can see
it.
that.
I woke up.
That's the second one, right?
Mhm.
Andrew Scott's in that for like 2 minutes, and he is
I woke up during
flawless
his
in those 2
scene.
minutes.
But I
He
have
did
no
such
idea.
a good job.
I have no idea what the hell that movie's about because
You
I
know-
fell asleep and would wake up during random points, and
Did you ever like finish it?
no, I
Okay.
never went back and rewatched
I
it.
will give that movie props because the whole thing was about us like accepting that you grow up and accepting that people die. And so it's a really dark
Really?
tone, but it explains everything really well.
You know what movie I did see and still have no idea what went on?
What?
Dr. Parnassus. I only saw it once.
Oh
I
yeah,
have no idea what I watched.
Dr. Parnassus is about Dr. Parnassus.
Yeah, I only watched it because you were talking about it, and it was like Heath Ledger's last thing. Basically.
Yeah, it was Heath Ledger's last movie, and he plays Tony, who is this random dude that
He's a
shows up,
tiger.
and he died, and
He's
then
great.
Johnny Depp, Colin Farrell, and Jude Law filled in.
That makes me think
I
that
love Jude Law.
2 more movies on my favorite list: Stardust, Mirror Mask.
Oh, I love Stardust. I like Mirror Mask too. I don't know if it would be on one of my favorites, but I still deeply enjoy that movie.
Yeah, I finished The Punisher, and the ending with the mirror really made me cringe, and it's not fun, and it's so terrible. Because it's funny, because in the comics, Russo's transformation into Jigsaw is because he gets thrown through a glass window, and the glass screws his face up. But in the TV show, it's break a mirror and drags his face across it.
I forgot about that.
Because I was like, I knew it was coming, because I was like, I know they're doing something Jigsaw related, because Russo's there. But I was like, are they going to do it this season? Are they going to do the transformation? And they did. And I was like, oh.
You know what bugs me?
What?
The bad guy on the first episode of New Doctor Who of this 11th
Tim
season?
Shaw?
I haven't watched New Doctor
13th
Who.
season.
Where can I watch?
Tim Shaw?
Yeah, I think.
Do you,
Teeth Face.
Amazon owns it.
Lori.
Like,
Oh, they
owns
do?
the rights, yeah.
I don't have Prime anymore.
You
The
have to
new
buy it
season, yeah,
anyways.
you'll have to buy it, but the episodes are like $2 or $3 a piece.
Okay, how many episodes? Because the reason...
So far there's only 3.
Because I've been wanting to get back into it.
The way that, okay, all the, like, 9, 10, 11, and 12 are all free. The only one you have to pay for right now is 13.
Okay.
But they're like $3 an episode, and what I typically do is I buy each episode one by one until it knocks the price of the whole season down, and then
Okay.
I just buy the rest of the season.
Because I've watched all except for... I haven't watched any of Capaldi. Because after
His
Smith,
is a hit and miss.
But I've been reading about this, and I was actually...
This was one of the things I wanted to talk about in this podcast. Was
I
Doctor
wanted
Who.
to get back into it because a new doctor, new showrunner,
Mhm.
and I haven't really put much thought into it. But
first
then I
episode
read
was
about
really
the
good.
Rosa episode, and I was like, okay, yeah, I really want to get back into this show now.
Okay, so we've done opened it. So the new Doctor Who is finally out. Last time that we talked about Doctor Who, it was they had announced a release date, they had announced a trailer, all of that. We're now 3 episodes into the season. That first episode introducing her is probably one of the best regeneration episodes I've ever seen, because I feel those episodes are always a little bit rocky because you don't know what you're going to expect, especially whenever you got a new showrunner and stuff like that. And oh my god, it's so well done. They did a really good job of fleshing out each one of the companions to where by the end of the first episode you kind of have a grasp of who they are. And the doctor, the second she falls on that screen, she is the doctor.
Yeah, it's really good.
Like, Jodie does such a good job. She feels a bit Tennant-esque if you want to compare her to another doctor. But the first episode is just... It's a really good one. It's a basic kind of alien invasion sort. Not even so much an invasion, but alien attacks Earth. Doctor has to save them. Really basic story, but it's done really well to help you kind of...
I really liked the villain. Like, he looks so cool. And
Tim
then
Shaw.
And then he took off his mask.
I
And I was
was-
like, ah!
I knew it.
No!
I knew it too, because she said, "What do you do with all the teeth?" And he reaches up, and I'm like, "No, no, 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 no,
Yeah.
no, 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 don't." And they
And
went
then he was
there.
a cheater.
Is he a lizard
And I'm like,
person?
You
No,
suck.
he
he
takes
might be.
teeth as a trophy from
Oh,
each
and-
one of the
and
people, and he
sticks 'em in his
sticks them
face.
into his skin. And so, like, his face just has, like, teeth.
I don't know why they're all human-looking teeth.
Because
but
that's where they hunt,
I don't
is
think
Earth.
that's the only place.
No,
though.
like, that's...
Yeah, but if that was his battleground thing, how he's obviously hunted there before. Why is this any more of a test than normal?
No, because... I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Anyways,
it's like... And then you had the second episode, which... Oh my
I haven't
god.
seen it.
It's really good because, you know, the first episode ends with them out in space.
Yeah.
Like, it just, you think you're going to get a
This
glimpse of
isn't
the TARDIS.
I have seen pictures though, and oh my goodness, it looks amazing.
Oh my god. In the second episode, at the end of it, you finally get to see the new TARDIS. And it's so good. It kind of, I feel, follows the theme of her screwdriver. It feels very organic-esque. And it just, it's one of those things where the TARDIS matches the personality of the Doctor so well. Like, each one of the Doctors.
Yeah.
And everything. And I love that the Doctor's still trying to kind of get used to being a woman. And
I've
so
been one of those in a long time.
And so at one point, like the as the TARDIS is there, she's like, "Yes, come to Daddy, Mommy," and I'm like, "I love you," and everything. And the way her reaction to seeing her TARDIS again is probably the most love I've ever seen a Doctor show anyone. Like, just the level of love that you see the Doctor have for her TARDIS. And in this third episode, we finally get an episode based in Alabama, and it's in 1955 in Montgomery.
Why else would there be an episode
And
in Alabama?
It follows Rosa Parks,
Yeah.
and
I heard about it.
they don't hold back in this episode at all. Like,
Someone told me about it, and they're like, Doctor Who's going to be in Alabama? I'm like, what? And I thought they meant filming.
no.
And I was like, what?
I
I looked it up, and I was like, oh,
wish.
yeah, Rosa Parks. I knew that.
But it is such a powerful episode. They did a really good job because this was one of those things that could have went one of two ways. It could either be really good or it could have been very, like, you know, just done to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell they did their research. One of my coworkers, we were talking about it, and they actually went and looked up all the information from that episode, and like the towns, the streets, and everything like that. That's exactly what it was. There's a scene where the bus driver's fishing, and it's in December, and he's in a windbreaker. And she was like, that was the only part we could really think that, you know, it's actually cold in Alabama. They looked it up, and on that day, that year, it was 80 degrees. So a windbreaker would have been, and everything. And at one point, you see the bus map. And the guy who does props and stuff like that, his name's Arwell. He's also the guy who does props for Sherlock. He had to use a very low quality, because there's no pictures of the bus maps from the 1950s in Alabama, and from like some small grainy image within an image, he had to redraw the bus map for her to use as a prop, and it took him over a week because they're very serious about being accurate. But oh my god,
like an odd place for a British show to go.
It's really good though.
Yeah, I'm sure, but
and it's like, because the TARDIS pulls them there. And so part of it's trying to figure out why the TARDIS was pulled to that point.
But yeah, I just meant because it's not, you know, their history at all. I don't know if they've learned anything about stuff
it's brought
like
up about
but...
that. They do. They do, and everything. Because Yaz looks at Ryan, and she's like, "How do you not remember any of this?" And he goes, "I know some of it," and everything. And but yeah, if you haven't watched Doctor Who and you want to start, you can start at 13. It's like Chibnall wrote it to where everything that you need to know is explained.
It's another reboot.
Yeah, pretty much. Because there's certain points you can start. You can start with Eccleston, you can start with Smith, or you can start with Whittaker. Like, it'll work.
You can pretty much start with Tenet too.
I mean, you can,
There's
but
only
those
like 7 episodes.
but those three points are the ones that
The best, yeah.
well,
Obviously.
they're kind of a refresh starter and are good starting points if you don't want to watch the whole thing. But yeah, so New Doctor Who is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like a good place to end it.
Yep, let's please end this, please, right now.
Of course.
All right, someone go get the shotgun.
As usual. As usual, if you like what you heard, if you don't like what you heard, if you have any sort of suggestions or comments or anything about what we talked about or what you want us to talk about, you can email us at nerdlykingdom@gmail.com. You can get us at Twitter at @the_nerddom. You can hit us up on Instagram at @thenerdlykingdom or on our Facebook. That's also The Nerdly Kingdom. We will take any sort of suggestions that you have or any sort of comments. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, I'm going to die now. I'm hungry. That was the worst.